بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد قال الله تعالى في القرآن المجيد والفرقان الحميد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وابتغوا إليه الوسيلة وجاهدوا في سبيله لعلكم تفلحون وقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم الدنيا جيفة وطالبها الكلاب أو كما قال مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. My respected listeners in Islam, today we are going to, with the fadl of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, listen to how Islam started and how Islam commenced. Why is it important for us to renew or refresh our memory? Is that close to Qiyamah, Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam mentioned that Islam will be a strange religion. Islam will be looked at as something that is mysterious, just as it appeared to the people, to the Quraysh, when Nabi Karim sallallahu alaihi wasallam made his Mubarak appearance. They found it to be very strange. Ma wajadna alayha ba'ana. We never heard anything of this here in our forefathers. We never found our forefathers preaching what you, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, is preaching. This is very strange. جَعَلَ الْآلِهَةَ إِلَهُ وَاحِدًا إِنَّ هَذَا لَشَيْءٌ عُجَابٌ. They couldn't understand how is it ever possible for all the idols that they were worshipping to be merged into one who is called Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They couldn't accept it. By listening, inshallah ta'ala, Allah ta'ala make it that our iman be strong, our iman be firm, our iman be untainted. Our iman must not be an iman that is such a weak iman that any ideology that comes, that is presented to us, we jump like LGBT, interfaith movement, we jump and we say yes, we have to accept how, and we have to know how to handle these issues. You don't have to handle issues when that issue is haram. You just ignore it. We need to be very careful of shaitan. Shaitan will try and convince us there is some good in some things and pay a bit of attention to it. Certain things, yes, we need to pay attention. But when it comes to our aqaid, then there's no attention to be paid whatsoever. Amanna billah. Amanna billah. We've brought iman upon Allah. Alladhina yu'minuna bil ghayb. We have brought iman in the unseen. If you don't see something, but you've got faith in it, you don't worry who can say whatever they want to say. I brought iman on the day of Yawm al-Qiyamah. You can't prove to anyone that there's going to be a day of Qiyamah in a manner that it is going to take place. It's impossible. You can't resurrect people. Yes, you can say, look at the plants, how they grow after the winter, how the flowers blossom, and Allah will recreate you and resurrect you. You can explain. So it's very important to know what is alladhina yu'minuna bil ghayb, amanna billah, sami'na wa ata'na. We have listened, we obey. That is the basis of our iman. Do you know what barakah is? People say make dua, Allah ta'ala give us barakat. Somebody asked Ibrahim bin Adam rahmatullah alayhi, can you explain the concept of barakah? What is barakah? You people speak about it must be barakah. So Ibrahim bin Adam rahmatullah alayhi told the person, are there more dogs or are there more sheep in the world? He says, more dogs. Ibrahim bin Adam rahmatullah alayhi asked him, do people slaughter more dogs or more sheep? Let me just try and get this in my mind again, how it was explained. The person wanted to know how the concept of barakah works. So Ibrahim bin Adam rahmatullah alayhi told him, barakah means abundance of goodness. And the barakah is to be understood from the example of dogs and sheep. Sheep have more barakah. We slaughter much more sheep and we eat much more sheep. But we will see much more sheep than dogs in the world, much more sheep. Do you agree? He said, yes, I agree. There's not so many dogs around, but see sheep. Did you see a truckload of dogs on the road somewhere coming from the Karoo or coming from Rustenburg or Limpopo, Kurbani time, or they have auctions of sheep all over? You'll see sheep and cattle and all. Dogs, you don't see so many of them. If you see 3, 4 together, but there's no barakah as such. So then Ibrahim bin Adam rahmatullah explained, do you know why there's so much barakah in sheep and so less barakah in dogs? He said, no. He said, you see sheep, they go and sleep early and they wake up early. Whole night they sleep. The dogs, whole night they bark. And they bark and they bark, and then when they wake up at whatever time, but there's no barakah. So take a lesson from this. You go sleep early and you wake up early, and then there will be barakah in your work. And all night you are with the television and you are with social media and you are chatting to this one and that one. There is not going to be much barakah. We learn this from the example of the dog and the sheep. The very first person to embrace Islam, Nabi Karim sallallahu alaihi wasallam, was given wahi in the cave of Hira, and he came home and he confided in Hazrat Khadija radiallahu ta'ala anha, and thereafter they went to the cousin of Hazrat Khadija radiallahu ta'ala anha, and he was a scholar. There were very few learned people in that time, very, very few. You could count them on your fingers. They had good knowledge. They are known as the Muwahhideen. Muwahhideen means those people were Tawheed. There was no Risala. Iman consists of 2 parts, Tawheed and Risala. Tawheed means La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam means Risala. 2 parts. So Tawheed is farad upon every human being. No matter where he or she may be, the aql and the fitrat and the disposition of a human being will naturally align him to the teachings of Tawheed. Irrespective of what language, race, which land they belong in, it's just natural that a child is born, and if he's left of his fitrat Allah allati fatara an-nas alayha, that child will grow up with Tawheed. In a hadith, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, it is the father and the mother, the parents, that lure him away and turn him away from Tawheed and make him a Christian or a Jew or a Mushrik. This is the essence of the hadith of Nabi Karim sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But left on one's own, just naturally the aql has got that particular ability to grasp there must be a creator, like how Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, there was no Nabi to guide him along. His own understanding and his own aql, he came to the conclusion. What was the conclusion? Inni wajjahtu wajhiya lilladhi fatara as-samawati wal arda hanifa wa ma ana min al-mushrikeen. He saw people worshipping the sun, he saw people worshipping the moon, he saw people worshipping the stars, and he thought they worshipped the sun. But who created the sun? The sun is rising, it gives light, it gives warmth, it reaches its zenith. There's the sun, amazing creation, and the people were bowing at the time of zawal, at the time of when the sun would rise. But the sun, as it was setting in the west, Ibrahim ﷺ said, where did this creator go now? Where did this creator go? فَلَمَّا رَأَى الشَّمْسَ, when he saw the sun disappearing, he said, أَفَلَتْ, I am not one who will worship something that perishes so quickly. Same with the moon, same with the stars. That he realized, after negating all these creations that are supernatural creations, you can call it, the sun, the moon, the skies, he said, no ways. Inni wajjahtu, verily I turn to the one who has created me, he has created the skies and the earth. And I am not one amongst those who is a mushrik. So Tawheed is aqli. With your aql you come to Tawheed. And as far as Risalat is concerned, if there is any such place in the world where no one heard about Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam, but their Tawheed, they never committed any shirk, on the day of Qiyamah they will be counted amongst the Muslims. Because Tawheed is sima'i, meaning someone must come and tell you that there was a Nabi called Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Extremely important is to bear this particular hadith in mind. Remember this hadith. It is a very, very important hadith. Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that any Christian or Jew, after hearing about me, still persists to remain on his religion, he is a non-Muslim who is going to go to Jahannam forever. Clear, the hadith is very, very clear, emphatic. This is an answer again to those people who feel, you know what, as long as they do good, they are going to go to Jannah. No. Nabi Sallallahu made it very clear. Any Christian and any Jew, by extension any mushrik, who has heard about me and yet does not bring iman, he is going to go to Jahannam. She is going to go to Jahannam. I think with modern technology, the entire world is aware of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Waraqa bin Nawfal was the cousin of Hazrat Khadija radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu, scholar, learned, and it was the dark ages, very dark, everywhere. There was no humanity left. The other day, you may find it, I don't know what word to use, fascinating or disgusting. A Japanese man paid 2 million yen, whatever the currency is, in order to become a dog. It may seem surreal. It may seem impossible. It may seem, this must be fake news. I read it out to somebody. He said, no, a person in America also. They want to be like dogs, walk like dogs, can grow a tail. I don't know how the tail is going to grow. And they want to bark, Allah mahfazna, Allah mahfazna, Allah mahfazna. Does aql, this intelligence, if it is been touched by shaitan, yatakhabbatu shaitan min al-mas, it will think in opposite ways. Okay, you may say, no man, this is far-fetched, this is crazy. Yeah, in South Africa, this past in this week, in Benoni, the Benoni school's name is also taken on a WhatsApp, whatever. What does a message say on social media? This particular school, it's a non-Muslim school. There are some Muslims also there perhaps. Benoni High School, uniform swap day. Uniform swap. Come to school dressed in your opposite gender's uniform on 25 August. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi rajiun. Bring any item listed below to participate. Toothpaste, toothbrush, razor, soap, deodorant, lotion. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi rajiun. Do you know what it means? Come to school dressed in the opposite gender. All the boys must come to school, to the Benoni High School. You come dressed like a girl. Put your lipstick on, put the powder on, wear high heel shoes, wear a skirt, wear a blouse, wear bangles and earrings. And all the boys must come to school dressed, that is all the boys must come dressed to school like girls. And the girls must come dressed to school like boys. And there was an uproar. There was a huge uproar. They had to modify it. People said, what is this? Now understand from this here, it's a predominantly Christian school. The Christians made a big noise. They made a very big noise. We will never allow this here. And the principal had to backtrack, and the board had to rethink the whole situation. And they changed something or the other. They tried to wriggle their way out of this. Now in the Islamic schools, you find there are some Muslim schools. The girls are going to the churches. Wallahi al-azim. I will read out to you. I've got it here somewhere. I'll just check on the phone, Maulana. Wallahi al-azim. Muslim girls went from a Muslim school, they went to a church, they are standing by a cross and smiling. And if all got blue scarves, the faces have been covered. 101%. Still we'll keep our children in the Muslim schools. Here you find the Christians giving an ultimatum. You stop this gender equality business. Otherwise we'll be removing our children. Here we find Muslims proclaiming the kalima tawhid la ilaha illallah. Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Going to a Christian school. I think it's the St. Andrews or something, we are looking for it. They are going to the church. They are going there, and what are they doing? They are standing, smiling on a cross. People say, don't speak about these things. Who is going to educate them? Tell me, who is going to educate them? Here it is. Nizamia Mayfair, it falls under the religious program or whatever it may be. There's a school called Nizamia. It's, I think, here somewhere in Joburg or so. They went to the church. And where is this particular church here? The church is St. Francis Forest-Town Methodist Church. They participated in an interfaith and understanding project which included visitors to various institutions such as the church itself. Our learners were fortunate enough to meet with the dishonorable so-called Mufti Ismail Meng, and we would like to express our gratitude. And there they've quoted the Muslim girls, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un, flush under the cross and smiling. Standing under the cross and smiling. Do you know what that cross is all about? We have spoken about it. That cross itself, what is that cross? It is the cross what they say that Isa alayhi salam was crucified upon. Isa alayhi salam, the Jews wanted to kill him. They felt that he's a danger to their status, etc. And eventually, according to them, they caught him and he was crucified. It's a cross, wooden cross. It was nailed whilst lying down on the floor on the cross, hands outspread, feet together, a nail on the hands, nails on the feet, nails on the head, nails on his body. He's just hanging like this here. That is what the cross is. What does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say with regard to the cross? وَمَا صَلَبُوهُ وَمَا قَتَلُوهُ وَمَا صَلَبُوهُ وَلَكِنْ شُبِّهَ لَهُمْ وَمَا قَتَلُوهُ. The Quran Karim says, Allah ta'ala says, I did not kill him, he was not killed. وَمَا صَلَبُوهُ. He was not crucified. That's Iman. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. Allah is one. Allah Ta'ala doesn't die. لا ينام ولا يموت. لا ينام ولا يموت. الحي والقيوم. The Christians, they say Jesus died. And Jesus is their Lord. The Lord died. The Lord died. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. And we find these Muslim girls going to such a place, such a church, standing there and smiling. We are in big trouble. I know I say it, but may it be not that which we dread and that which we fear ever overtakes us, may that day not come when there's such civil strife that there's no control over anything. People are running into homes, people are running into the shops, people are taking whatever they want to, whoever they want to. That day, may Allah Ta'ala make it we don't see it. And that day, on the day of Qiyamah, if we don't alert you, you as a Muslim and Muslimah, as a father, as a mother, grandfather, grandmother, you as an alim who may be teaching in these schools, these Islamic schools, you were a party, and the Maulana who kept quiet is a bigger threat than the church itself, because he kept quiet. He kept quiet. Why did he keep quiet? Such a major thing. Maulana, you are Maulana. You became a Hafidhul Quran. You by-hearted the ayat. وَمَا قَتَلُوهُ وَمَا صَلَبُوهُ وَلَكِنْ شُبِّهَ لَهُمْ. You by-hearted the ayat. بَلْ رَفَعَهُ اللَّهُ إِلَيْهِ. You studied and you analyzed the ayat. You made tarkeeb of the ayat. بَلْ Rafa'a, you said fil mazi, Allah, the word Allah is the fa'il, who is the maf'ul, ilayh. All you analyzed it from every point, but instead Allah Ta'ala lifted Isa alayhi salam up to the skies. وَمَا قَتَلُوهُ. You, wow, istinafia, ma qatalu. You check the Arabic, the grammar, and he did not. Who is he? Allah. Who is he? Allah Ta'ala says, he did not kill. Who didn't he kill? Who is the maf'ul? This here is Isa alayhi salam. He did not kill Isa alayhi salam. Today, because you are in an Islamic school, they've given you a post of the director of Islamic studies, or whatever else it may, you know these girls are going in the dark church. There's no light there, there's no nur there. There's just a bulb that's on. You know they are going to stand under that crosses. You know they are smiling. You know there's not an iota of feeling of hurt, of pain. Ya Allah, what are they doing to your tawheed? What are they doing to their tawheed? You know they are very friendly with the Christians there. You keep quiet and you use excuses like hikmat. We are using hikmat, you know. They're also coming to our place. Did Nabi Sallallahu ever have this approach to Tabligh and Ta'lim, that we go to your church and you come to our masajid, etc.? No. In fact, they suggested to Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, one day we worship your Allah, one day you worship our idols. Let's come to a compromise. The same thing is happening here. You come to our church, we come to your mosque. And we feel they are now being exposed to Islam. The Islam, you don't have to go to a church to get Islam exposed. It's open, the masajid, anything, not that they have to welcome there, but they can get the knowledge wherever they want to. Let's not be narrow-minded. Let's not have blinkers. Let's not go into a shell and refute the irrefutable and dispute the indisputable and challenge that which is unchallengeable. 10 years from now, what is the condition of our daughters going to be? They would be already befriending the Christians, boys and girls. And the nafs is there and the shaitan is there. And can I say something to you? You think, no, these are small things. Do you know how many Islamic schools are there in the country? We Googled it. Alhamdulillah, we try and do our homework with Allah's fadl. Total Islamic schools, excluding Western Cape. They're not putting their figures, they don't want to show it, whatever. 62 Islamic schools in the country. Total amount of students, if we average at say 250 also. 250 times 62, I think we come close to about 15,000 Muslim Muslims. Do you know what's 15,000 Muslims? They have started, it is without you realizing it, or we acknowledging it. They've already started. I took the name of the school, the Nizamiya school. I'm telling you the name. I'm telling you the church's name. Forest Town. I'm telling you the place where this is taking place. Still, it will not register in the mind of many of us, because our iman is almost extinguished. We can't understand. We can't admit. We can't raise our voice. The parents who are sending their children to this Nizamiya school can't speak 2 words. You haven't found one post even mentioning this incident and say we are deadly against this here. The Islamic school children are not going to go to the churches. We will never tolerate this here. Never mind, we'll keep our children at home. Our daughters will have haya. Our sons will have iman. If they go there, what guarantee do we have that the iman cannot be destroyed? Do you know what? You're not speaking now about 15,000 alone. A time, it's already happening. Don't be in denial. Don't think everything is, they're against everything. Where there is kufr and shirk, there can't be compromise. You can't say Maulana so-and-so agreed and Mufti so-and-so agreed. You can't put allow a Muslim child, allow a Muslim youngster to go in a church, stand and smile. Did Nabi Sallallahu smile at crosses? There was a cross in the time of Nabi Sallallahu. It's called a salib. When Imam Mahdi come, you think Imam Mahdi is going to stand and go to a church and smile there? He, amongst the responsibilities and objectives of Imam Mahdi coming here, is going to kill the khinzir and break the cross. He's going to kill the khinzir and break the cross. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam in his time, the entire incident of Najran was narrated. Why did the Sahaba wage jihad? Why did Nabi Sallallahu wage jihad against the Christians of the time? Tabuk. Nabi Sallallahu went to Rome, close to Rome. The whole Roman Empire at that time extended right till the Arab Peninsula. The Roman king had eyes on the empire of the Muslim empire. Nabi Sallallahu found out, he had his intelligence. They are thinking of attacking us. Before they come, let's go for them. What a great battle, what great sacrifices. The Sahaba radhiyallahu anhu's feet were bleeding. They had no shoes, walking on a hot desert sand. Today we have Islam. They watered the tree of Islam for us. Today we have the tree. We have the Islam by us. They went to confront the people of the cross. During the battle, the banner of the Christians was the cross. They hold the cross up. If you want to know which way the war is going, look from far, which way is the cross going? Is it falling or not falling? If it's falling, it means the Christians lost. If the Muslim banner standard is up, it means the Muslims won. Today we very intentionally, very deliberately, very recognizing fully that is a church. Shirk of the highest category is taught in the church. Every Sunday in particular. There's not a Sunday that they don't go in a church and they sing, my Lord Jesus, and they make kufr and shirk there. On all the walls of the church, the crosses are there. Where the priests stand, there's a huge cross there. Easter time, they walk with a cross. The Muslim stands on a cross today, instead of feeling any revulsion or any sense of disgust, Inna lillahi, Ya Allah, where am I, man? What am I doing here as a Muslim girl? Ya Allah, what's going to happen to me? The parents are proud. My daughter got 6 A's. She's in a certain Christian college. They call it college or school. She got 7 A's, and now she's going to university. Are you not scared of the day that your daughter may come home and say, Dad, I've got something to tell you. I'm in love with John. Is it not possible at all? It is possible. They are going to have some type of a relationship. It can grow. Can you control it? Don't you know about the story of a Muslimah? It's scary to speak about it. We don't know about ourselves, but we have to alert you. It is your right to know. Never let anyone deny you the right to propagate the truth. Never allowed it. She was born a Muslim, brought up as a Muslim. Allah Ta'ala's fadl, alhamdulillah, parents sent her to the madrasa, maktab those days, Muslim, mashallah wa ta'ala. Came a time, they say standard 8, she must come out. No, let she do matric. You know, she must have that matric certificate. Did a matric, brilliant results. You know what? She want to go to university. Family is poor as it is. She can earn something. She promises she'll wear her scarf. She'll go with her friends. All Muslims stay together. They club together in the university. Fine, with who she will go. Oh, there's a Muslim person down the road. He's also in university and whatever it may be. After a few months of attending university, that particular Muslim driver, whoever he was going, he left university. Now, how does she get there? There was only a Hindu now to drive nearby. Okay, you sit at the back, but we have to go. Came a day she was in love with a Hindu. And came a day that they wanted to get married. And she brought the news home, I'm in love with him. I can't help my feelings. I can't help my feelings. They got a shock. How is this possible? You were girls. You went to the Musalla for all your Salah. Today you say you want to get married to a Hindu. And she just didn't want to understand. She just couldn't understand. And eventually they said, you know what? Let's go and speak to him, make him Muslim. End of the story. Let's go and speak to him. He becomes Muslim, at least, you know. So they went and they met him, spoke to him, you know what? Okay, you become Muslim. He laughed. He laughed on their faces. He said, me become Muslim. She is becoming Hindu. What are you speaking? We've already convinced her. They went back. She says, I'm sorry, I can't help my feelings. Got married to him, walking around a fire, can't understand when she sees the fire there. When the Hindu ceremony, they have a fire lit there. This fire is a sign I'm going to go to Jahannam, I'm going to burn. I'm going to burn in Jahannam. She couldn't see. Wore her sari, put that mark on her head. Everything like a Hindu. Parents were crying their hearts out. Aunties were crying their hearts out. Went to live with him. Time went by. One day the aunts, they said, let's go and visit her. Maybe we can still convince her. Went to the house. Allahumma husna. Ya Allah, protect our iman. We ask of you for protection for our iman, the iman of our children. Those children you have given as gifts unto us. That's an amanat. When the aunties walked in there, Assalamu alaikum, she looked, they were looking all over the rooms, only idols. They told her, you know what, just remove this here. What was the reply? What was the reply? Wake up, what is happening in South Africa? The reply was this here. She told those same aunts, who showered her with love and gifts and ED, etc. If you can't respect anyone else's religion, get out of the house now. Get out of the house. Learn how to respect my religion. You want to send your child to the Islamic school? I'm making it clear, all the schools are not yet involved. But if it is not stopped now, if the board of governors or whoever they are, the school governing body, don't stop it now. In this school there is no interfaith activities at all around. To the contrary, it's an Islamic school. We are going to teach them Tawheed, and we are going to teach them what is wrong with Christianity, Hinduism, Jews, whatever it may be. If that school can't give you that assurance, wallah, rather you take your child away. Allah is Razik, Allah will give them more barakah. I've given you the facts. Wake up before it is too late. Sunday after Sunday, they commit shirk in the church. They preach against Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They call Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam names in the church. They revile Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They insult Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They find fault in the deen of Nabi Karim sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You don't just become a priest just like that. You have to go to a college, you have to go and study theology, you've got to go and study comparative religion. It's a proper course, 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, like how you become Maulana. They will pick from the Quran Karim ayat and say, you see, this verse contradicts this verse. Now write the exam. Because you are going to be a priest and you must take on the Muslims. They study the life of Nabi Karim sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They're going to say, you see, how many wives he had. Now you take this here and you blow it up and present it this way here, so that your flock, so that your followers in your church, they will understand Islam to be a backward religion, to be a religion that is unfair, to be a religion that is Allahumma hafizna, inhumane. That's what they preach, and that's what they understand, and that's what they do, and that's what they were doing at one stage, going from door to door. They would literally, like how the Jamaat brothers go from door to door, especially in apartheid days, they would come to Lanesha also. I also met them. They wanted to discuss. I told them, no discussion at all. I don't discuss with you. For what must I discuss with you? But why is it so, man? You know, they speak so nice. They will make the sour taste sweet in your mouth. You eat a lemon, but you'll think it's an orange. No, you know, it's like a rainbow nation, you know. Already, at that time it was apartheid days. One colored fellow, suit and tie, the wife, not the wife, I mean, it could have been, the white lady is there, another boy, another girl, assortment. And accordingly, I said, no, it was after Isha. I said, no, I can't discuss with you. They said, but why not? I said, I'll be stupid. If I say I want to discuss with you, I'll be a fool. They said, but why is it so? I said, see, I know 3 and 1 is 4. And you want to tell me 3 and 1 is 5. And I must say, let me discuss with you. I will never do that. So what are we going to do? I said, I will explain to you why I'm a Muslim. If you want to, you come. Whispering to themselves, and they said, okay. I said, 2 conditions. We make parda here. I could sense there was a lady, shukr Allah ta'ala fadl, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. I didn't look at her. You see, we put a curtain, I sit on the other side. That's one condition. Second condition, I'm going to speak first. Maybe it will take 45 minutes. I don't want you to get bored. You want to get bored, you leave. He said, okay, fine. Alhamdulillah, we went in the house, with Allah Ta'ala's fadl, put up the parda there. They were on the other side. And with Allah Ta'ala's fadl, only Allah Pak's fadl, tawfiq from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, du'as of alhamdulillah, seniors, parents, asatiza, mashayikh. I spoke for 45 minutes. The 5 pillars upon which Islam is based. You start off with your aqaid. I'm not in the other 5 that we know, it is ibadat. Aqaid. Why is Allah Ta'ala only one? And Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Then you move to ibadat. You go to mu'asharat. You go to mu'amalat. And you go to akhlaq. 5 things our Islam is built upon. You can be the best worshipper, but if you don't have good character, good akhlaq, you don't know where to put, to be humble, you don't know where to be angry for the pleasure of Allah Ta'ala, you don't have good akhlaq. You can't remain silent if somebody swears your mother, it's against good akhlaq. Good akhlaq is, I'm going to stand, I'm going to fight. I'm going to eat you. You swear my mother. No one says, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was very kind to people. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, how they taunted him, but he did nothing. Why just make somebody swearing your mother? That's a very, very perverted understanding of the seerah of Nabi Karim sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There are people going around, they only speak about the love and the kindness and the mercy of Nabi Karim sallallahu alaihi wasallam deliberately, I'm using the word deliberately, excluding the other part of Nabi Karim sallallahu alaihi wasallam that was equally merciful and in terms of being kind and loving, but it was done in a different manner. You as a mother, you see your son is doing something very wrong. Perhaps he's tearing the hair of he's tearing the hair of his small sister. He's fighting with her. He's grappling. He's hitting her. What are you going to do? Are you going to say, oh, Nabi Sallallahu Sunnah is this here, I must be kind and loving, but you don't do this here. She's screaming her head off, Allah, he's pulling my hair, he's scratching me. But you mustn't do it. Rasulullah never used to do like this. Nabi Sallallahu when they threw stones on him, I tell you the story of Taif, the girl is bleeding there, this fellow is punching her. No, that is not the way you apply the mercy, and there you take another route. You've got to go to another road of which Nabi Sallallahu said. Nabi Sallallahu said, keep the stick behind the door. Nabi Sallallahu said, keep that stick behind the door. That stick is a stick of mercy. The sword is a sword of mercy. When Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam gave instruction that the Yahud who had betrayed Islam, the pact against the Muslims, Nabi Sallallahu gave the instruction, first chuck them out of Medina Munawwara. Throw them out. Nabi Sallallahu went with the, get out from here. We had a pact. You never maintained the pledge which you had promised and signed. You broke the pact. You helped the enemies. All of you out. Leave behind whatever is there in the fort. All your weapons. They marched out. Where they went to? They went to Khaybar. From there also they never stopped their nonsense. Eventually Nabi Sallallahu laid siege to Khaybar. All of you out of Khaybar. All of you out. Go. Is that not mercy of Rasulullah? Is that not a mercy of Nabi Sallallahu they threw everyone out? Imagine if he had left them there. What havoc they would have caused them today. And then the one tribe, they betrayed Nabi Sallallahu 700 men were taken. And they were slaughtered. 710 at a time or whatever. Get them out of the fort. They betrayed Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. The Yahud tried to poison Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. The Yahud tried to kill Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam on 2 occasions. The Yahud made sihr on Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. You don't mention anything of this here. Nothing. You keep quiet. Why? You know, if I speak about this here, I am out of line with the political world where the Jews, Yahud are now all over and taking control of the Islamic lands and countries, etc. You know, I won't be a man of the moment. I won't be considered to be the representative. You know, I'm out of the interfaith movement. So you prepare to bear all that is done, all the zulm that is being perpetrated upon the Muslims. You prepare to tolerate that. You won't speak one word against them. We were saying that particular conversation, explain to them, everything has got its place in time. Even your worship, you must be careful how you worship the Almighty. You are worshipping the Almighty, you sense a blind person is walking, you know there is an obstacle that can hurt him or he can fall in it, what we can call today a drain, manhole. You sense. What does our religion say? Our deen don't say, no, you're making salah. Our deen says, break your salah immediately. Cut and clip and break that contact which you had with Allah Rabbul Izzah in salah. Break it, snip it. And do what? Go and hold that old man's hand. Then go and hold that child's hand, the blind person, and say, wait, come away. You're going to get hurt, you'll fall. There's danger in front of you. Allah Ta'ala don't want that time to see how long sajda you make. You want to see what humanity you have in. So there's a place, a time, a method for all aspects of life in our deen. Shukran to Allah Pak. After 45 minutes, there was some things prepared in the house, something for them to drink and whatever. They say, you're very kind. I say, no, this is your right. My religion taught me I must entertain you, although we have different religions, but have something to drink. Now, they attempt to say, they say, but Jesus died on a cross, for all our sins. I said, then why are you here? What are you doing here? You don't have any sins you have to worry about. Poor Jesus, you call him the Lord, the Son of the Lord. The Father is so cruel, he nails his own son. And then for your sins, you commit adultery. I mentioned also when they asked, before we went into the house, but why do we have to sit separate? Why? I say, you see many people, and they said, we're doing the work of God. I said, yeah, many people start off, they do the work of God, they end up with the action of the devil. That's why we have this in between. So now they understood little. Shukr, I'm not going to go into entire detail. All that I remember now is they eventually stood up. I told them the ladies must go out first. Then I went, I greeted. There were, mashallah, kitabs in the shelves. So the priest or whoever was a fellow, he says, you know, hey, there's a lot of knowledge here, man, lots of knowledge. I say, again, you're making a mistake, my friend. I'm smiling. You must be thinking everything is mistake here. So I say, you see, knowledge is not so weak, fragile, cheap, that ends can destroy it. The kitabs, ants can eat the kitabs. What is it, other smallest thing? Termites. They can also have a go. So all the knowledge will be destroyed then. No. This is not knowledge. This is a manner in which you gain real knowledge, which is known as nur. When that nur comes into your heart, into your mind, you even become independent of this here. The Almighty will guide you with that light that you have, which is the light of truth, which you know now. Now you know the truth. He was just quiet. I hope I'll be seeing you soon. He never ever came back. That was the end of it. Point being made that we have to be very cautious with these Islamic schools. They have started off, I've given you the names, it is indisputable. The Muslim girls have gone there. They have stood under with blue scarves. If you see a picture, maybe on one side, under the cross there, and you think to yourself, Ya Allah, may as my father, what will I reply to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? May I say, mother, I want to go Medina Munawwara. My Allah has blessed me with so much wealth, I can afford sending my children to such Christian schools, private schools, where the fees run into the tens of thousands a year. One school, they told me 200,000 boarding school a year. 200,000 rand. It's a proper boarding school. The Muslim girls are there. What about the haya? What about the shame? What if they come with John and Peter here and they say they want to get married? How will I react at that time? What are you going to tell to them? That it's wrong? Or are you going to say, no, by then the interfaith movement could have grown into something like this here. There are also Ahl Kitab, you can get married to them. They are going to come. That is the next step. You can eat from them. They will quote from the Quran and Hadith. وَمِنْ أَهْلِ الْكِتَابِ. They'll speak about the Ahl Kitab. And you will find you don't have any Islamic identity left. So it's a very huge issue that you attend to as soon as possible. The community this year is your responsibility. That you contact the Islamic schools in your area and say, we want to know exactly. Give it to us in writing that our children are not going to go to the Christian. And you make it public. Don't conceal it, make it public. Inshallah ta'ala, Allah ta'ala will save our iman. Inshallah ta'ala. We come back now, at that time when everything was in darkness. The last Nabi had come 700 years before. Nabi Sallallahu Isa alayhi salam. 700 years had passed. The original Injil had already been distorted. There were different Hawariyin. Hawariyin is like the Sahaba of Nabi Sallallahu we call him Sahaba, radiyallahu ta'ala an majma'in. And the Christians call them the disciples. There were a couple of them. That's what you hear about John and Matthews and Jonah and whatever it may be. They had different types of Bibles by them. They would chop and change. If the community say, no, you can't go in like how we have Fajr Salah. No, okay, we cancel this year. It's a bit difficult now. Instead, they would play and tinker around and sort of, tweak here, tweak there. But there are some remnants left of those times. There are some little signs left. Example, the topi. You can say, where is it left in Christianity? The Pope always wears a topi. Did you ever see a Pope without a topi? Never, you won't see him. The kurta. What does the topi? You see him with a suit and tie and a baseball caps, a high corner. You're not going to see the Pope ever like that. If you had seen him or wherever he's visited or whatever. Those are the signs of what Isa alayhi salam had a topi. Isa alayhi salam had a kurta, what we can call. The Pope couldn't stand the pressure. He took off his beard. That's the only thing he let go. But if you look at it then, the churches that they had, you will find the arcs. You know, like how arches in a masjid. You will find that type of thing also. We have a minara, they have a cross. So there are some things that were left, but as time went by, the Ahl Kitab, before Isa alayhi salam was Musa alayhi salam. A couple of 100 years between the two of them. Musa alayhi salam had the Torah. وَآتِينَا الْإِنْجِيلِ وَآتِينَا Allah Ta'ala أَنزَلْنَا التَّوْرَاةَ فِيهَا هُدًى وَنُورٌ. This is very important to understand. The interfaith movement now, they have made in America a Quran Kareem taken with the Bible and with the Zabur. They call it the Psalms. P-S-A-L-M-S. The Zabur. They've taken out where it is mention made of one Allah, one God, one whatever it may be. They've put it into another new form of Quran Sharif, if you can call. All these three religions believe in one Almighty. This is going to be the new Quran. So we don't have to fight with one another. It's already been printed. It's now just, it takes 20 years, 30 years to start infiltrating, brainwashing, and messing up our concept, the real concept of what Tawheed is all about. So from Musa alayhi salatu salam, as time passed by, the Zabur was diluted, and the rabbis, Rabbaniyin, they call him a rabbi, comes from Rabbaniyin, they became scholars for dollars. Lots of money. Everything in the Jewish religion is based on money. The more money you have, the more spirituality you have. The more nur you have. That is how the Jewish religion works. And so, people were waiting for the truth. Allah Ta'ala sent the truth with Isa alayhi salam. He came now with the Injil. The Injil came to him, miraculous birth, with Allah Ta'ala's fadl. Whilst he was a newborn, he uttered the words of truth. وَجَعَلَنِي مُبَارَكًا أَيْنَمَا كُنْتُ وَأَوْصَانِي بِالصَّلَاةِ وَالزَّكَاةِ مَا دُمْتُ حَيًّا. Before that, قَالَ إِنِّي عَبْدُ اللَّهِ قَالَ إِنِّي عَبْدُ اللَّهِ. The first words which he spoke out. Listen here. Why did he speak the words? He spoke the words because when Maryam alayhi salam, who was a very young lady at that time, came with him while she was cradling him in her arms with a shawl. When she came to her community, they got a shock. They said, Ya Maryam, oh Maryam, what is this here? Ma kana abuki mara sawiya wa ma kanat ummuki baghiya. Your father was not an evil man. Your mother was not somebody with a loose reputation. Where does this child come from? What a test was it on Maryam alayhi salam. But Allah Ta'ala had already told her beforehand through the Malaika. When they ask you anything, فَلَنْ أُكَلِّمَ الْيَوْمَ إِنْسِيًّا. Today I'm not going to speak to anyone. I'm fasting. Silence. You just point to the baby. فَأَشَارَتْ إِلَيْهِ قَالُوا كَيْفَ نُكَلِّمُ مَنْ كَانَ فِي الْمَهْدِ صَبِيًّا. She's walking with an infant. The folk of the village came. They asked this question. She just pointed to the baby. They looked at her. They said, Kaifa, how can we speak to a newborn? How is this possible? قَالَ إِنِّي عَبْدُ اللَّهِ. First word was to destroy the cross that came out of Isa alayhi salatu wasalam's lips. The very first words. Inni Abdullah, I am a servant, a slave of Allah. Today you allow your children to be in the Islamic schools and interfaith movement, and they go and they stand under the cross which depicts that Jesus is the Son of the Lord who was crucified. What is such a message the Quran Kareem screams out. تَكَادُ السَّمَاوَاتُ يَتَفَطَّرْنَ مِنْهُ وَتَنْشَقُّ الْأَرْضُ. The skies can split, the earth can crack and split concerning these words. This kalima that they are saying, Jesus is the Son of Lord. Look at what the Quran Kareem says to you. Ask the Maulana in the school. Plead with him, Maulana, please tell us, this is in the Quran Kareem, that these words that they are speaking in the church, Jesus is the Son of the Lord. Please tell us that Allah Ta'ala says the skies can split asunder and the earth can open. Tell us, it's such evil words that are being spoken there. Maulana, Allah have raham on you, He have raham on us. We know you were a terrible, not terrible, I'm not going to use the word, a very, very difficult decision to make. If I walk out from there, thousands of rands they're giving me. The shaitan will play tricks with your mind. The shaitan will try and deceive you. Listen here, at least you can contain it, You can speak quietly on the sideline. Maulana, the Sharia says you must teach them Tawheed. Don't bring your own understanding and wisdom. If it was that right for you to remain silent, the Quran Kareem would have said remain silent, no problem. But the Quran Kareem says, speak the haqq. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam says, speak the truth, walau bi murrin, even if it's bitter. Walk out with your head held high. The malaika in the skies will salute you. The sky will salute you. The earth will salute you. Allah Rabbul Izzah will salute you. That being there in charge of Islamic studies, you are in touch with the true Islam, and you said it and you walk out. And Allah will look after you. He will provide for you. May Allah Ta'ala grant us hidayat and tawfiq. To understand, we have to cling on. We will become a minority. We may become a minority of a minority. We may become strangers. And inshallah, if Allah Ta'ala wills, not next week, there's no talk, the week thereafter, we will listen about the earliest pioneers of Islam. Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu. We will listen how he was all alone. And we will listen of Hazrat Ja'far bin Abi Talib. And we will listen of Afifi Kindi, and we will listen inshallah of Hazrat Talha radiallahu ta'ala and Sa'd bin Abi Waqqas, and we will listen of Khalid ibn Sa'id bin Al-Aas, and we are going to listen of Uthman ibn Affan. At that time there was only 1 and 2, 2 and 1. Islam was very strange. They had to meet Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam in secret. They had to hide where Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the place where they would have their meetings. They would walk with fear and look over their shoulders. Is there anyone following us when they would meet Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam? They were a handful, 10, 5, it went to 15. Sooner or later, Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has informed us beforehand how Islam started, that's how it's going to end. You will become 100, maybe, we don't know how, lesser and lesser. But the words of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam will always be to the truth. You never need lose courage that we are only few. You have to just look at the words of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Sayaudu, soon Islam will return. Kama bada'a, how Islam started. Tuba lil ghuraba, there will be strange people. They will find Islam to be very strange people. There will be very few, the ghuraba, those ulama of haqq and people of haqq, there will be very few. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is consoling those people who are very few. They are outcasts. They don't want to be invited. They are viewed to be a threat to unity. They are viewed to be a threat to the family unity. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam says, Tuba lil ghuraba. What is Tuba? Congratulations. Imagine if Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam tells you, congratulations, you need anything in the world. You don't need nothing. Wa akhiru da'wana anil hamdulillah. Right.